Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play of Dwarf Fortress. We don't have a name yet, so I'm anticipating having a name, before too long. But at this point, we'll just call it, Dwarf Fortress version 0.42. I think that's what it is. It is the new version that has, I think like visitors and things like that in it. So, in our last video, we ginned a world, and now we're kind of looking for an embark site. We found one potential site, and now we're just kind of like looking around, seeing what else is available. First site looked okay. Let's see. Okay, the Lucid Mire. So, most of this embark would be in a swamp. Actually, all of it would be in a swamp. Alright. Let's, what's this? Desert of Chance, really. Has a lot of stuff. Deep metals, flux stone, shallow metal, deep soil, clay. Clay is good, but no trees, so it's out of the question. Probably everything here is going to be about the same. The Beak of Tests. Yeah, no trees. Let's just go ahead and move on to the north here. The Crude Spike. Yeah, scarce. The Hills of Chewing. Yeah, it looks like most of these embark spots here are going to be kind of crappy. So let's just move on down to this mountain range, see what this has to offer for us. Earthen Crest, Confining Field, Sparse Trees. It's kind of, a lot of this is probably going to be very, very samey. Yeah. Yep. Excuse me. All right, let's just go down here. So far, that one site that we marked is the best one. Looks like we've got... The Wall of Lords. What's this? What do we got here? So, 2 biomes. Majority is this mountain. The greatest forest, heavily forested. But it probably won't be much of anything. But I like the name, the greatest forest. Greatest forest. That's funny. What about this one? Teeth of Stability. The Dignified Jungles. The brook's name is Poke Fleshes. Nice. If the second biome on both of these was maybe 1 or 2 more tiles into the embark, I would definitely consider it. What about here? Pretty much the same. But this is more kind of like what this might have some potential. The Blue Barbs, okay. Sand, which sand's okay because we can make some serrated glass discs to sell. Apparently they're a really good trade good. And then we have deep metals, they had a flux stone layer, and then the Steps of Scalding, 3 out of the 9, okay. Woodland, so it's not heavily forested, but it's forested. It's warm, that's fine. Untamed Wilds, not a huge deal. Generally, it just means that there's going to be possibly a lot of beasties, but not like evil, just beasts. The Ocean of Thralls, huh? Sand, little soil, shallow metal, deep metal, flux stone. Let's go ahead and note that. Add a note. Site 2. All right, so that one's not too bad. Not too bad at all. The only thing that can make that better would be if we had multiple shallow metal. We have multiple deep metals. But the shallow metal, looks like there's only one. What about over here? No. Yeah, it's mainly swamp. And this is mainly swamp. Okay, let's check over here. So we've got the contingent point mountain. Lots of mountain on this map, which is good. I like mountain. The brook is the guard of stenches. Nice. The dignified jungles, again. Clay, some soil, deep metal. So probably only going to have one of each. Interesting. Freshwater swamp, huh? All right, well let's go down here to this southern place. This is kind of a scary place because there's a lot of haunted stuff going on down here. Sauce-throat backs. Yeah, it's like a haunted goblin stronghold. But there is a dwarven sieve down here, but it looks like it's badlands. Badlands typically don't have much in the way of trees, which is a bad thing. Savannah, yeah, maybe down here. Oh God, we're like really close to some bad mojo down here. Bad mojo. I always like to look at these tiles though, just to see like what exactly is up, you know. It's always fun. Sinister surroundings, beautiful. Sinister. Yuck. Stream the passionate something. Okay, I need to get back on track here. What about this? Looks like it's next to a desert. The Bejeweled Desert. Yeah, so most of it is it's all desert. No thanks. The Mountain of Coal. And oh, it's 3 biomes. Well, really, it's kind of the same. It's just one part of the Mountain of Coal has some shallow metal, and the other part has some deep metals. And then we have the Ochre Mire. Which also has deep metal, some soil, and some clay. And it's woodland. Interesting. Could make for an interesting embark. I think the second place we found is the one that's tickling my fancy the most right now. So this looks like it's kind of in Badlands again. So it's probably going to be out of the question. What about up here? Oh, there's already... So we would be like next door neighbors with some other civs. The Tenacious Beak. It's going to have a lot of trees. That's not a huge deal. Clay, some soil, deep metal, fluxstone layer, shallow metal, fluxstone layer. I mean, having lots of trees is better than not having trees, you know. Although trees can give you some FPS issues as well. What about over here? More Badlands. Maybe like right here might be Crazy Tooth. 3 biomes. Lean Hill. Yeah. It's just not going to have enough trees. These places are probably all going to be very, very similar. Okay, let's check out... I want to refresh myself on this first site. I think we've kind of got it narrowed down. So this first site has a heavily forested swamp. And then the Axe of Labyrinths. I think I was leaning towards this because it was cool. What's the name of the dwarven civ? So we have dwarves, elves, and humans around us. That's good. The Dead Door? Neat. So it's the name of the civ is the Dead Door. So the other one would be right in here. So let's see what that civ is. It's hard to tell. It actually doesn't really look like there's any dwarves that have settled around here in this area. They are all further away. Well, I think we're gonna settle here in this spot because I like the name The Dead Door. I think that's pretty comical. So I think we're gonna embark here. So we've got two biomes. We've got the Axel Labyrinth's Mountain, and it has deep metal and flux stone. And then we've got the Lucid Mire, which is a tropical freshwater swamp, heavily forested, thick vegetation. So not only will we have trees to cut down, but we'll also have potentially food that we can gather. And wilderness surroundings, not a huge deal. Little soil, so we can do some farming. Shallow metal flux stone layer. So chances are we might have to do some trading to get metal for our militias, but that's fine too. Okay, let's hit E to embark. Oh yeah. Are you sure you want to embark here? This is your only warning. We're not going to warn you again. Yeah, I guess. Let's prepare for the journey carefully. So an idea that I kind of tinkered around with, and I think somebody actually suggested this to me too, was to embark with 7 dwarves with no skills. Because I think that would be funny. You could like role play it as like, we're just kind of like cast-offs. We're nobodies, But I don't think we're going to do that with this Let's Play. Maybe a different one. Alright, let's... it's probably going to be pretty similar to all other embarks you've seen me do. Gonna be grabbing a lot of the same stuff because that's just how I roll. Capuchin intestines. So we're eating monkey stomach. Yummy. Pigtail thread. Actually, we'll keep that. Hell, I'll even keep the bags and the ropes. Sure, why not? Well, I don't know actually. It's pretty expensive. We'll keep the bags. Quiver, maybe 1. Let's give somebody hunting this time. Let's give somebody hunting. I think that could be interesting, right? Will we have to give them a crossbow, or will they come with it? Probably have to give them a crossbow and some bolts. We'll get rid of all this. Step ladder, really. Alright, so let's, well, before I forget, let's go ahead and see what we can do for name our fortress. So let's just random it up, because sometimes random names are the best names. Oily markets, nail ring. So since we don't really have a theme here, outside of the fact that we're just kind of doing a vanilla play, it's very, just for fun. We're just going to look for a name that's absurd or comical. Diamond, bronze, clashed roofs, scaly tome, rag confines, singed rope, crypt wheels, saberlong, raptor lanterns. What? That's pretty absurd. Oiled walked, weaver lances, inked dally, paddle glazes. I was like, pad leg glazes? What? Board pages, narrow rope, Nutsglaze. There we go. That's it. That's it. The Nutsglaze. And so that's the name of our fortress. Nutsglaze. And our group name. The Ignited Labor. Orb of Anguishing. Eviscerated Rampart. That sounds pretty hardcore. We'll go with that. Okay. Also, before I forget, we want to come over here and we want to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves our you know, typical dog setup here. So we're gonna go with a male, and we'll go with just 2 females, and then we want a male cat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What else do we need here? Well, I normally go ahead and grab. I will go ahead and grab another kind of drink. Not wine, because we're gonna have a ton of that, but we'll go ahead and grab 21 units of beer. And we don't want to eat these plump helmets. They're kind of like a safety stock. So we need probably, you know, 15 more units of some kind of meat that's cheap. So we'll take the Wolverine lung to go along with our cave lobster and our capuchin intestines. Okay, we're gonna take a lot more plump helmet spawn than this. Probably like 50. Do we even really need to take 50? I mean, we'll take 30. I mean, it is cheap though. That's the thing, is it's super cheap. Yeah, we'll take 30. Normally I take more. We'll experiment this time. 4 picks. We'll need a training axe for lumberjacking. Boom. Mango wood. And let's grab a, we need to grab some crossbow action here. So we can get a copper crossbow for 20 dwarf bucks. And then we need to get some ammo. So we'll get some, what's cheap here? Copper. Get copper bolts, like, I don't know. Probably should get about 100. I don't know, we'll get 50 to start off with. Because who knows, there may not be anything we can hunt. There just may not be. So, and if there isn't, then we're out those points. Not a huge deal, but if we run out of bolts, then we just set up our craft dwarf's workshop. We've got trees, we can make wooden bolts. So, got a quiver. Let's look down through here. Let's see what sheet. Ooh, I like sheet. Instruments. I want to look at stone. I want to see what stone is available to us here. See if there's any kind of fuel. Not seeing anything so far. I see lignite, but no bituminous coal. It doesn't look like. But hey, lignite, I'll take lignite all day long. All day long, folks. Compared to having to burn tons and tons of wood? Yes, absolutely. So we're going to carry as much lignite as we can. All right, let's go back to our dwarves. So we know, all right, here's what we know. We know we want to take 4 miners, right? So let's just go ahead and set that up. We also know that we need a doctor, but we're not going to need a doctor like all the time. So why don't we put it on a miner? Okay. So that takes care of 1 dwarf. We also know that we're thinking about having an ambusher, a hunter. It's not under hunting, it's going to be under ambushing. So let's give them, now if we could just give them straight up 10 points in ambushing, but we need to give them probably some points in crossbowmen, don't you think? So we'll do like 7 ambusher, and then like that, and cross. I guess we could have just done all hunting for this person. But here's what I'm thinking. Let's make this person like a lumberjack or something too. So we've got ambusher, 7 crossbowmen, 8, and then we'll do woodcutter. Where's my woodcutting? There it is. 10. All right, excellent. All right, let's go ahead and get these dwarves finished out, and then we'll move on to the next video. All right. So other things that we can marry up here. Well, actually, let's talk more about what we need. Other things that we'll need, but we won't need that often, will be somebody to do trading for us. Whoa, these are new. Fluid engineer, optics engineer, geographer, chemist, mathematician, keyboardist, singer. Nice. We could do like a pack of 7 dwarves at some point in time. They're like a band. That's what they are. They're just a band. So all their skills will be in like music creation. They're just a bunch of hippies. So we need, normally what I do is I go judge of intent, appraiser. That leaves us 3 more points left. Something else that maybe we need that we don't need all the time. We could just throw some points into. Might be. Let's do cook. Yeah. So miner, cook. And then the trading skills, so like the brokering skills. And then we need a mason, right? But it needs to not be a miner because the mason's going to be pretty busy. And then we need, let's say we need a carpenter that's not a miner too. All right, so that leaves us with we still need. Or we'd still like to have. Well, we're going to need a farmer. So let's put the farmer with the carpenter. So the grower. We'll put the grower with the carpenter. And then we can do brewer with one of the miners. So we don't have. We haven't done any kind of smithing, so we don't have a weaponsmith or an armor smith or a metal smith. We could embark without that. It'd be kind of a toss of the dice, but we could do that. I'm not worried about a mechanic. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Alright, well, I guess what we could do is we could just do with this one we can do armor smith, and then this one we'll do weaponsmith 9, building designer 1. So what do we got here? We have a miner doctor. We have a miner cook trader. We have a brewer miner. We have an armorsmith miner. We have a woodcutter that's also a hunter. We have a mason weaponsmith who also dabbles in architecture. And we have a carpenter with a grower. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm not going to bother with giving anybody like organization or anything because that stuff's going to go up really fast anyways. So we'll probably give that to Kumel here, Kumel Rakusterist, or maybe even Domas Melbil. Probably him, because if we gave this person the organizing, like the bookkeeping, we don't want anything to happen that's going to pull this person off of growing. We don't want stuff to rot in the fields. So, all right, let's hit E to embark. Oh, we have 66 points yet. Go back. I almost forgot. So we can get some lignite here. Not much. Is there anything that we can jettison to get more lignite? You know, I think I'm gonna kill the bags here. Even though it's nice to have bags to start, it's even better to have a ton of lignite. So, you know, each unit of lignite here, if I'm remembering correctly, is going to give us 4 units of coke. So that's going to end up being like 224 units of coke, which will last us for a while. It's good stuff. We could also, I mean, if we really wanted, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to gamble. We're not going to take an anvil. Instead, we're going to take a bunch of lignite. Maybe I'm being a little bit too ballsy here with the lignite, but normally it's not that hard to get an anvil. You know, from the first dwarven caravan, if not the first one, then the second one. And I don't normally do a whole lot of smithing by that time, anyways. So we're gonna gamble that we can get one, and in its stead, we're gonna take this lignite. So now that's a ton of lignite. That's a ton of lignite. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for the second episode of Dwarf Fortress. I can't remember the name of it now. I'm gonna have to look back. What was the name of it? Dwarf Fortress Nutsglaze. That's our fortress. Nutsglaze. All right. Embark. Strike the earth. Don't crash. Nutsglaze. Ishlam Fikad. Nutsglaze. Strike the earth. And that's us. Alright, so I'm going to put a cut in here, and in our next episode, we're going to take a little look around and see what we have. Thank you guys so much, and until next time, game on.